And mankind still insists on the wrong way. Controlling, power, and I have to throw this in again, which I always do. Jesus said it over and over and over. Please send this to any rich person you know, this video. Tell them to watch the show or listen to it. Tell them to listen to it till the end. Jesus said, it's easier for a camel to go through an eye of a needle than a rich person to get into heaven. Why would he say that over and over? Because it's the most powerful truth there is, and that's what's destroying the planet today. As long as they think they can control us and use us as slaves and zombies or whatever the word is. Well, we each have to move forward in our own way. But if we don't try, we're not going to. So, when we play the game of life, we've got multiple steps to take. But the most important part is when that choice comes your way. I'm saying, take your time, study yourself, go inside yourself, look for the truth. Reincarnation is so critical. Now, I could go through a lot of them of mine, but they're not going to help you benefit, except that you say, well, he knows what he did. You need to know what you did. No psychic, which I know people claiming, oh, they do hypnosis and they make people see things. No, you can't make a person. Soul only gets what it deserves. Nobody else has the right to give it to him, or them, or whatever. Soul is itself within itself. But it creates its own karma. Nobody else creates it for you. I mean, when you step onto this planet, the world has karma because that's what you're stepping into. But what you do within that is your choice and what affects you the most. If you want to do things, look at yourself. Look in the mirror. Okay, past lives show you who you were, how you were, what you believed in, where were the steps you took to get where you are now. I'm not saying what you were in the first lifetime when you came down into this world. You could have been an alien. You could have been a lot of things. But when you see that life, or whatever it was, what you learned, all of that's forgotten. Each lifetime you had, you learned something. And I would say it's a lot more than what people think they know when they're in this lifetime. If you lived 100 times, don't you think you learned that burning your finger is burning your finger about maybe 50 times over? So you really think you need to learn not burning your finger is the right thing to do again? Past lives show you things by natural, being aware. Like a person jumps on a horse. Oh, I don't know how I did that, and then starts riding it. Oh, I just know how to ride a horse. Somebody stands in front of a piano and starts playing it. Without thinking, why did I do that? If you allow it to come through, it's there because it's who you are. You're not, and this goes against certain religions and paths, you're not tapping into the world consciousness. The world consciousness of the universe and planets are, let's keep planets going around in circles. It has nothing to do with whether you should eat turkey or chicken or steak. It has nothing to do with what size or color shoes you should wear. So who you are is individual, always will be. What you understand about God, what you learn about God is what's going to help you unfold as a soul. As soul. Because in those moments, when you move forward, you see who you really are. What you really did in your lifetimes. What you're paying your karma for. You can't pay off karma and not know it. Soul knows it. That's why it's trying to pay it off. Mind does not. So mind doesn't want to pay it off. Well, I got to give that up so I can pay off that? Why do you think Lucifer, for a name, for a word, for a being, for an entity, is twisted to man's thinking to a level Well, I can use it this way, I can use it that way, I can use it against me, I can use it for myself. Well, are you afraid to meet with Lucifer? Probably are. Why? Because you were programmed to. But we all kind of meet it. You can call it the dark night of soul, the dragon within, but it's Lucifer trying to get hold on you in some forms. So look, come over to my side and I'll give you everything you want, which he did with Jesus. I mean, it's a common thing because Lucifer itself feels it's God. It's allowed to. God says, okay, you can play God. I'll let you. You can play God with all those ants on that planet right now. And if you think we're more than that, please wake up. So Lucifer says, well, I want to keep these ants doing what I want them to do. He likes to see the things happening. Oh, that's cool. That's fun. That's exciting. The emotional body of a human is pretty much under the influence of Lucifer. How many people want to have sex 10 hours a day or night, whatever? Does that spirit, oh, well, it's spiritually connection to what? God? The ignorance of the human race boggles my mind. And I'm the one that's crazy. I know it. I feel it. But I'm going sane. Sane means being more aware of God. Insane means no understanding of God. That's my definition. Because if you're aware of God, you're aware of every action you create and you do. If you don't believe in God, any action you do or anything you create is free game. So when you go into your past lives and you take just say you get shown the last two, which is beneficial because that's when you probably got a lot more knowledge and awareness of things that are more present or fit into the present time frame. Learning about life, learning about love, learning about respect, honor, and all those kind of words. What you did or what you didn't do. How you abused people and what happened, and you could see it. All those things come from a past life. If you just look at it. Now, I'm going to throw this in because I just feel it. Sex can be part of that as well. I told this story maybe twice already. But when I was young, let's see, I'm bad with numbers, but probably around 11 for a number. I never saw a naked lady. I was protected from things like that, always. I wasn't allowed to see anything like that or whatever. I had an experience in my dream, which was a past life experience, but I could only perceive it as a dream because that's what we're told. We didn't know about past lives when I was little. I wasn't told about them. I was married to a Japanese woman, in love with her. We made love. I woke up crying. I didn't understand anything about that. And believe it or not, I wasn't told anything. And my mother always says, well, children have wet dreams. And that's all I ever heard. But I didn't know what was going on until many months later. A friend of mine said, oh, come on, I want to show you some pictures. And I actually saw a picture of a naked lady. And I said, they're different, so much different than we are. But I was little. I didn't understand that. I mean, I was always in love with girls when I was little. But I didn't know the actual things that go on between. I mean, kissing is one thing. And anything beyond that was not in my view. So the experience I had opened my mind up to something way beyond what I was ready to perceive or anybody tell me. So what I'm saying is, and that's just one experience. So these little experiences that we can become aware of that we had of past lives can show us things that we don't need to go through or we already have gone through that can give us a greater awareness of our reality of who and what we are. I mean, I had a vision 2 weeks before I got separated from my first wife. It was the most hardcore dream I ever had. I wrote maybe 30 pages of the dream down. And sure enough, I split up with my wife. And that's what my dream was about. So, there's a combination of dreams, the dream world, and past lives, because the mind's playing with soul, and there's a really hard barrier between the communications between the two. Mind fills it with its own details. Soul's trying to bring the truth out of what it is and what it does and what it wants. But it's like if you got into one of these new self-driving cars and it wants to go to the store or go to the bank or whatever, and say, oh no, I want to go to the ocean. And the car keeps driving to the ocean or to the bank, the opposite of whatever you're thinking. The mind is the same with soul. When you think and go through your feelings and emotions and try to piece it together. So as we do this game playing, soul has to be pushed back, because your heart keeps your body alive, your blood circulating, it keeps you alive. Soul doesn't. Soul dwells within it, which is the real reason why it is alive, but it's not what's keeping it alive. I don't know. I can only say what I would assume. When soul steps out of the body dies. But what they're trying to create is these zombies now and keep the body alive. But if the soul leaves, what is it other than a programmed zombie? I don't want to get into that because it's not where I want to go. I mean, it's pretty messed up if we do that, which we're trying to do. So, past lives, we have 100 at least. Going back to the first time soul itself comes down through the higher realms into the physical. Goes through the astral plane and comes into the physical. Some angels didn't have to come down into the physical, so their teachings are limited to the astral plane. People have no clue of understanding that. Well, he's an angel. Well, where did he come from? What did he learn? Who was he studying with? What did he achieve when he was an angel? All those kind of things. They were battling. They were fighting. Michael was a great warrior. I mean, but they all fell. They all fell out of the higher realms because they made borderlines and guides and gods of each realm, saying you have to be at least this level to stay here. So the angels were all booted down to the lower level. So in your carnation, I was an angel. Well, I just had somebody tell me that they were an angel and all this. I got to listen to those stories. Do I believe them? Do I have to accept them? Of course not. I challenge people. See, most people say, you can't challenge people. Let them think what they want. Do I want to live in a world where they all think like fools? Do I really? Why would I want to? If nobody understands God, they all are ignorant. Why do I want to think or feel or work with any of these people, really, if they're not ready to take a step out of that? Well, I work with aliens, and they're telling me everything I need to know. Like what? They got a ship that runs on air. I said, so? You run on air, too, so what's the story? You're full of air. We have to dig out of this. Past lives is number one. Out-of-body experience is number two. Both of them, you have to know that they're real. Because if they're real, then mind has to accept it. Because if you believe it's real, the mind's accepting it. So that means soul's already working on opening mind to thought of soul. Or I wouldn't say thought, but the idea of soul itself. Actual experience. Sure, I talk about experience. If you didn't have an experience in something, don't be talking about it. I could talk about Jesus. I could talk about God. I could talk about aliens, demons, entities, deities. Because I had direct experiences with them all. Should I? Of course I should. How is anybody else going to understand that? Because most people that pray to, worship, idolize, follow, didn't have a direct experience. And then when some experience that they call their experience happens, they give credit to whatever the specific religion path and whatever they follow. God is not a religion. God will never be a religion. God is not a path. We need pathways to get to it, but it is not a path. We each make our own path to get to it.